Show. Welcome to Console Kids Podcast, and in this episode we got a couple different discussions that I want to put out. First of all, we have a comment from John D himself, who says the reason why Walmart is liquidating, he's answering the question of the first topic, and that is clearing stock for the next shipment. That's it. It happens every year. We're going to be talking about that, but that proves a couple points, and that proves that there's going to be a next shipment. It looks like the new wave of cabs are coming soon. Well, it's now confirmed, that's for sure. So it doesn't look like, according to John D, that Arcade1Up is or Walmart is no longer going to be selling Arcade1Ups. Like, a lot of people are actually assuming that. They said the entire section of their Walmart is completely cleared out. So I went to 2 Walmarts in my area. I have video. I'm going to walk you through that. We're also going to talk about a really cool story about how Retro Ralph has to send my daughter a Road Blasters t-shirt. We're going to talk about why that's the case. I think you'll find it really exciting. Also, we're going to be talking about Sega and how Sega is going to double down on some of their IPs. Some articles came out this week. I want to talk about it. We'll wind that all together in Arcade1Up news and see if that applies to anything going on with Sega. Also, while we were at Walmart, there was a really cool arcade there that I'd never seen, and I want to share it with you. I think you'll find it really exciting. I appreciate everyone who comes to these live streams, and because I appreciate you so much, CastleMania has offered CastleMania Games. So go to CastleManiaGames.com. This is not technically sponsored, but he's a good friend of mine. I want you to know about it. He's going to be doing a giveaway. You could get a Nintendo Switch OLED just by hitting subscribe to this channel and commenting down below. If you're already a subscriber, just make sure you're commented. Comment so that it increases your chances of winning, because I'm going to take those comments and make sure that you're in this giveaway. It's once I hit 10,000 subscribers. I don't usually care about gaining subscribers. I'll be frank with you. The only reason I care about subscribers is if one day I hit 100,000 subscribers, YouTube puts out a plaque. And honestly, that would be really cool. I think it's going to take a really long time to get there, but I love making content, so it's kind of like this long-term goal. And normally I wouldn't do a giveaway for getting subscribers, but he offered the free Nintendo Switch OLED to you. So if I don't do that, then you're gonna miss out. So let's jump right into the topics here. Appreciate you coming and hanging out. So in this video, we're at the Walmart and we're checking out exactly, at least in my area, what the Walmart looks like. And I'm going to break you down. Now, previously, this row right here, for me, comment in the live chat if you've been to your recent Walmart. What does it look like? Now, I went to this Walmart just a few weeks ago, and what happened at that Walmart was it was completely empty. Like, the entire space was just completely empty, but it still had the posters. And now when you take a look at it, you can see they have more stuff here, and it looks like just this area that maybe employees are just dropping equipment at, or maybe it's customers are just indecisive and they're setting things down. But it had this Pac-Man, and that Pac-Man was not there just about 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to take you through what I did when I went to the Walmart, and I want you to follow along because this is something that you may not know about. So you want to look at the prices below here. This is a good indicator if there's any deals in your area. Remember, these are fire sales that Arcade1Up or Walmart does every single year, and this is where you can get some of those deals. So for example, Simpsons $3.99. That is a price drop that we saw previously. You'll see another Simpsons in here, $5.29. So we have $5.29 there. That was that original price, but $3.99 is what it lowered to later. So you want to check all these prices to see if there's any evidence of a price drop. Now, these are pretty standard stickers, badges at the bottom here. The next thing you want to do is open up the Walmart app, and I'll show you that in just a second. And I opened up the Walmart app, and I navigated to the Pac-Man 12-in-1. This will give you their everyday price right on the app, $3.15, right? So you take it a step further, you want to scan that UPC. And when you scan that UPC, you can sometimes see a discount. And this was, in fact, the discount from my app. That Legacy Edition of the Pac-Man 12-in-1 is only $149. So there was some liquidation at this Walmart. Now, I just told you that it was empty. It was empty. But about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, it was packed with like 3 or 4 Simpsons cabinets. I think, just like everyone else that's been reporting it, they've been reporting these Simpsons cabinets for $149, and that is a killer deal. I think any Arcade1Up, at least with a riser, I want to say, because I didn't pick up this one. I did not pick up this Pac-Man 12-in-1. It's a good price, but I'm all Pac-Man out, and it didn't come with a riser, so I was like, well, how much is the riser? And in my area, they're, still that $44. So then we ran over to this other Walmart. I'm with my daughter, and we're got stuck playing Kirby. And some people were reporting that Kirby is not a very fun game. I thought it was really cool. Kind of reminded me of Super Mario 3D World for like the Wii U, and then later it was re-released on the Switch. And so we were playing that for a little bit. It's kind of fun. Remember back in the day, you'd go back to the Walmarts or Targets, and you could demo games. So here I am, found the Simpsons, and found a couple different cabinets. This is in the West Des Moines, Iowa Walmart. A lot of cool things there. Again, you got to check those prices. $3.99 for that Simpsons, and pretty standard price for everything. And then you open up the app and you check the prices. Here it is, $3.99 is that regular price, and this is video right here. I decided to record my phone. Now, if you're watching this right now and you have the ability to scan this UPC, I recommend you do that. If you have 2 devices, one you're watching the show on and one like a phone, open up the Walmart app and scan this UPC. This is the UPC for the Simpsons cabinet. Now, you can scan this, and it'll tell you if it's in stock in your area, but what you might want to do on the Walmart app is change your store to a different store. If you have like 3 or 4 stores in your area, you want to keep on going to different stores to see if there's one that has it in stock and one that has it on the discounted price. Again, sometimes you're going to find the liquidation, sometimes you don't. They don't have it in stock. Again, these are in-store prices, so they're selling off the stock of the cabinets that are in store. Okay, you're not going to find these prices online. You won't be able to buy them online at this $150. It's only the in-store ones, and you got to use the app. The app is really useful. So here it is. I'm scanning. I'm about to go to the camera mode, and I go and I scan the Simpsons, and I'm hoping, and no, it's $3.99. And again, I've seen people report this in their area. They are getting $150, kind of like that Pac-Man that I showed just earlier. So here I am, just kind of going through it and trying to figure out. I'm scanning everything else, see if I can find another deal. Okay, this is a Ms. Pac-Man 40th, not a very good deal. Now, there was a deal in here, right here. The Mortal Kombat is normally $315, and here it is at scanned for $249. So some people are seeing that $249 price, but that's just not a deal for me. I was like, okay, what about a riser? Like, could I get a riser for like $10 or something? Come on, give me a deal. No, $44.88. That is the deal in my area. But there's other people in the live chat that are saying they got some deals. Now, hold on. I do want to show you this because this is really cool. We'll come back to that in just a second, actually. So I want to see, there was someone in the chat that was saying that they got the Pac-Man Legacy 12-in-1 for $150. I know already the cocktail, I have the cocktail Pac-Man, but this system will be dedicated to my having Mappy, which was missing from the first. And I've seen some people on Facebook that they said that they were able to pick up some of these, again, they could get the Simpsons cabinet for $150. Now, I said in the live chat, is anyone interested in Crazy Taxi? That's going to be a conversation we have in a moment. And Cybermind was saying, I was lucky enough to find a broken machine for $50 that I fixed up. You can see it in my arcade tour. I'll check that out. And Harold's like, he likes Crazy Tacos. He must be really hungry right now. Let's see. Quick question. Does anyone know for sure that Arcade1Up is not doing Space Ace themed cabinet? I would be seriously pissed if I bought the Dragon Slayer one, only to see later they release the Space Ace a little later. I don't know 100% for sure. I mean, I've heard the rumor that you probably heard, and I don't know if John D is still in the chat. Like, I don't know, maybe email customer service and be like, did you guys for sure cancel Space Ace? I'll try to get that information. If I do, I'll comment below in this video, but You know, sometimes they can't share that information, sometimes they can. Anyway, so let's check that out again. So this is the Walmart in West Des Moines, and this ended up being a great time with my daughter because they have this little gameplay area, and I've seen it a few times, but it always had like storage in it, you know? So I was like, what is going on in there? But this time you take a look at it, it's got this arcade on the right that's clearly like not plugged in or broken, but there's this one in the corner that was looking pretty good. Now I saw some kids, they were playing on it before, so it looked like they were playing the game. So we went over there, and it ended up being, what is it? An Arctic Thunder. It in a Walmart, right? Like, this is old school CRT, and it even had a credit already in it. I thought maybe it was on free play or something, and it's at that moment I was like thinking, wow, I haven't played Arctic Thunder in a while, but no, I'm going to give up my seat for my daughter. This is me telling her, no, you play, because I wanted her to experience this game. It got me looking into Arcade1Up. I know some people that are super excited about, like, what if Arcade1Up came out with a Thunder series. So I was doing some looking up on it, and I just don't think it'll happen. These games came out late 90s, early 2000s. They're made by Midway on a system that was, like, very similar to, like, a PC. And I'm not really familiar. I think it was called Quantum something, but I'm not sure if anyone knows anything about the emulation on these games. Of course, it has the polygon graphics on it, but I just feel like these games were a lot of fun. And I think, if I'm right, I don't think this machine had it, but I remember there being like it would blow cold air at you or something. And I also remember a couple different Hydro Thunders and Arctic Thunders, and there's like an Off-Road Thunder. And, you know, I didn't play them a lot, but every now and then I would play them. But the bigger games, I think, is the Sega one. So that got me into thinking about Sega and Crazy Taxi. I was like, oh no, Crazy Taxi is a better game than the Hydro Thunder, in my opinion. And maybe Daytona USA. Those would be fun games to play. And so it got me doing some research, and it kind of got me down a rabbit hole. Hold on. So Harold Miller, he's saying the manager at Walmart told me that they reduced price on the cabs again tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's not a sure thing, but I'll be watching. So that's a good tip, Harold. So those of you that are watching this on a Monday, you know, I'm recording this. This is live on Sunday. So you definitely want to check and see if your Walmart is like that. Is it the time for them to lower that Simpsons cabinet to $150? Now, earlier in the show, let's talk about it a little bit before we get into other topics. They do this every year, and that's what John D was saying when he commented earlier. Clearing stock for the next shipment, that's it, happens every year. And this is true. We've seen this over and over again. I've gotten plenty of deals because Walmart makes the majority of their profit from those early adopters and those additional first 3 months where people are basically paying retail MSRP or close to that for these arcade cabinets. And of course, they buy them in bulk. They make them in bulk. These are projects that cost millions of dollars to Arcade1Up to develop and manufacture and ship, but they do them in tens of thousands, right? And at that point, after the tens of thousands have already been, well, let's say not maybe like 90% of the cabinets have been sold, and now they want to make way for the next wave of cabinets, and they're going to get a bulk of revenue again because of those cabinets. They've already made their profit, hopefully. That's the idea. You know, they don't want to be in a situation where they have to liquidate the cabinet super early, like no one bought any, right? And The Simpsons has been out for a while, but I don't think it did very well because we've also seen like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was out for quite a while. I don't recall it going down to $150. I think it eventually did get discounted before it became fully sold out. But that one seemed a little bit quicker, but not immediate. The ones that are a little bit more immediate, I think, were like the Terminator 2 and the Ridge Racer. Those dropped about $150 about 2 to 3 months after they were first available. I think those are really hard to move. But also, it could be Arcade1Up trying to find that sweet spot. And even the retailers trying to find that sweet spot, because there's a relationship between, you know, how much you're going to sell it for and how quickly you can sell it for, and then you can make way for the next wave of cabinets that will be marketed and advertised and all that good stuff. So I don't think they're going out of business. A lot of people were saying that, and that's why I wanted to make this video. It's just, again, another one of the situations where regionally you're going to see different, because of the sales numbers in the different regions, sometimes they'll drop the price. And there's some regions where you'll never see a price drop at all. And that kind of fluctuates depending on the titles and depending on how many sold in quantities. But I do want to say that you want to try to get those deals if you can. So let's talk about the next topic here. I got a couple things that I want to talk about. The next one is Sonic Origins. So Sonic Origins is the game that's coming out, but I'm going to combine this with, here's this video of Sonic Origin, and here is this article that's on the right-hand side. I'm going to read this article. I don't want you to think that I'm like reading it off screen, but don't know it's on screen. Like, I know it's on screen. I'm showing you it's on screen, but I'm going to read part of this article. It kind of tells a story about maybe what's coming with Arcade1Up as well. So Sonic Origins playing on the left-hand side. This is going to be the remastered version, remastered title of the original Sega Genesis games. It's going to come on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, things like that. But Nintendo Life has an article on it, and it says, as a part of the financial earnings report, Sega announced that it will leverage existing and past IPs by means of remasters, remakes, reboots, aiming to strengthen its core properties by 2024. There's proof of it. Right on the left-hand screen, or in the middle of the screen, Sonic Origins is coming out. But the company also makes reference to a so-called super games, which you've cast your mind back, may include IPs such as Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. So here's the full quote. It says, the core strategies of the new medium-term plan centers around digging deeper into key existing IPs like Sonic, Phantasy Star, Total War, some other stuff. So this is coming out June 23rd, but we're definitely going to see more of these reboots and remasters. And they're trying to make enough. They're saying some of these games are going to try to bring in $766 million over their lifetime. That is their plan. But there's a second article I want to combine this with. It was also another one on Nintendo Life. A little bit more about Crazy Taxi here. Remember the game Crazy Taxi? It says Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio reboots reportedly in development. Now, this is as of April 2022 let's see, they keep on talking about Fortnite, and that got me confused, made me look away. I was like, you know what? I don't think, what is, Sonic, Sega trying to do with Fortnite? I don't really understand this, but looking deeper in this, it actually doesn't seem that bad. It says the company is aiming to pursue the likes of Fortnite. They're not saying they're going to release a Fortnite. They're trying to be popular like Fortnite. The reboots are said to be the first in Sega's Super Game Initiative, which the company announced last year as a way to generate revenue sources and cultivate online communities. So Fortnite has been a massive success for Epic Games. I'm going to skip some of this, but here's the idea. Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio seems like a solid way to start for Sega. And it even mentions, this is a comment by the author. It says, we'll keep our expectations in check with this one, but an online Crazy Taxi sounds pretty cool if you ask us. So that's what got me thinking. I was like, no, Hydro Thunder or Arctic Thunder, that'd be really cool, but we'd really like to see like a genuine Crazy Taxi reboot. I would take that in any form. Now, I know the people that are watching the show would love to have that also in the form of an Arcade1Up. And that's the cool thing is, here's the key thing that I want to mention, guys. Check this out. When Arcade1Up works with Sega to make cabinets, Sega's got to be a part of that development. They typically are by way of emulation, by way of funding the emulation, and as they continue to make better emulation that can run on these ARM core processors, that's when we start to see more of these games be released. Now, we've seen Arcade1Up do Sega before. We've seen iArcade do Sega before. And everyone's like, well, they can do Big Buck Hunter, and iArcade can run the likes of Dreamcast emulation. Why don't we see more Sega? And the answer is Sega has to invest in the emulation, or there has to be a company like a Code Mystics that does integration to provide typically a commercially available emulator. What comes to mind right now, I don't think I have it near me, but all these little Sega devices that are out there, I was thinking of my little Sega Micro. That thing, you know, is running an emulator that's blessed by Sega themselves. Like maybe M2 made it. Or think of the Sega Mini, the little Sega Classic. That is an emulator ran by M2, which is a company that, you know, is typically, you know, they made the emulators, so all their licenses are legit, right? So there's no hidden license that it's gonna scare a lawyer. Does that make sense? Like, a lawyer can come in and say, look, if we go and produce this product, but it's using this open source emulation that requires additional attribution or requires you to open source the cores that other cores that are using or the games, I don't know, like, stop, right? So what companies like to do when they do these emulation, they go with a company that owns that emulation, so they pay a fee, and then they can't get sued or can't get into legal trouble. So what does this have to do with the story that I'm talking about here? Well, look at it. They're talking about bringing Crazy Taxi, which is an older game, to modern platforms. That means an integrator, a company, or Sega themselves is gonna have to invest money into the likes of some type of emulator that'll run on a modern platform. Can that emulator also be used on an Arcade1Up? If the company's smart, they would try to take advantage of all possible platforms. And Sega, of course, knows that they have relationships with Arcade1Up. They made a ton of money, likely, off of Outrun. And everyone knows that John D's probably talking to Sega and like, what do they want? Well, they want Crazy Taxi. What do people want? They want Daytona USA, which there's, to my knowledge, no, you know, commercial viable option for an emulator that's free from anything that would cause fear, you know, for the product or add risk. So I think all of this is beneficial. All of this is beneficial. This article and Sega doubling down and improving, if they're going to make that type of money, we're going to have a good time in the next couple of years, whether it's with an Arcade1Up, whether it's with an iArcade, or whether it's with a Nintendo Switch. Man, it's good. It's a good time right now when it comes to retro gaming. So we got a super chat here from Tyler, and he said, he's glad you made this video. Something I contemplated on recently. Like, you read my mind, bro. Thanks, Console Kits. You said, thanks, Console Kits. You said, man, you need some Detroit love style. Detroit love style. Okay. Really appreciate the super chat, the donation there. And yeah, so different topics that we have on this episode. That first one about Walmart we were talking about originally. I think the sky is not falling. It's not a big deal. It's going to be okay. And what do you guys think about the Sonic Origins and the possibility of a Crazy Taxi coming out in these articles on Nintendo Life? I'll have those links below after the show if you want to read more about them. I think it's pretty exciting. In Arcade1Up, we know from the leaks that there's supposed to be a Sega Sonic or a Sonic the Hedgehog arcade coming out this year. And I think that's a part of Sega doubling down on their IP. And they want to be more popular, and they want to make a ton of money, it sounds like, off of these IPs that they own. They did 2 movies, and then, you know, someone was recently mentioned, don't forget, Pikachu was a movie that, you know, that came out previously. Nintendo's got the Mario movie coming out, a lot of retro games coming on. And so the leak that we have, which is still believed to be true, is Arcade1Up is going to come out with a Sega cabinet, and that Sega cabinet is going to have Sonic the Hedgehog on it. It's going to have like speed racing on it, is because they want to have an online community, and that's them testing the market on that huge IP. And I think also they're going to test out these other IPs. Hopefully they'll be able to come up with an emulator that's like Crazy Taxi. Okay. So for the next topic I want to talk about, we'll jump into it in just a second here. Let me close these windows here, and we'll get this bigger. And we'll go over here. So this last week was pretty interesting. This last week, I went to Seattle for a work trip. And that work trip was a lot of fun. And so you guys probably know that I've been also at the same time investing in a lot of full-size arcade equipment. At this point, I think I have about 10. I don't know the exact count, but it's like 10 plus full-size arcades, but 10 plus Arcade1Up arcades as well, home arcade in general. But recently, you probably saw a video from Retro Ralph where he has a 7-foot-long Road Blasters, an Atari Road Blasters cockpit. Now, that was the cockpit that I picked up at an auction, and we traded. So my daughter had played that Road Blasters, and that was her first Road Blasters that she ever played, was that sit-down version that Ralph is doing a series on right now, and she got some high scores on it. So this is kind of interesting. Because we did the swap, there was this interesting scenario where Retro Ralph has a full-size cabinet that has my daughter Evelyn's score on it, the high score, right? And now I have his machine. Okay, so let me show you that, guys, real quick. The Retro Ralph machine, he has a stand-up version because, again, we did the trade. And I'm going to switch over to that real quick, and you can see that. So here is the Road Blasters arcade. My daughter Evelyn here is playing. This is her first attempt at playing the game on the stand-up. She definitely says she likes the stand-up better. So this works out really well. Ralph was really excited to get this cockpit version. And my daughter was hesitant on selling it, but I just thought for us in our basement, this would be a cabinet that we could bring into my basement. It's in the garage right now, but we can play it in the garage, and she has a lot of fun on it. So we sent this video to Ralph to show him, like, hey, we got it, it's working. And I don't know why it's saying that my photo won't work anymore, and we'll take a look at that while we're talking here. So the whole idea is that I was just simply saying, hey, we're having a really good time with this new cabinet here. And this is what Ralph said. This was pretty interesting. This was the photo that I sent. I got it all working again. I'll show it. Here we go. So I sent a picture to Ralph, and it showed, this is Retro Ralph scores, right? So he has, these are the high scores that he got, and here my daughter Evelyn, she got 5th place, right? And so, there was a first try. And then that's when Ralph said, look, if she loves that game, I'll offer a deal. And this is so nice of Ralph to do, especially, my daughter, she's 13 and she loves playing retro games. But I could tell Ralph wanted to kind of bring that up a little bit more, like get her inspired. And as you guys probably know, Road Blasters is a game where back in the day, back in 1987, when Road Blasters came out, if you could beat the game, if you could make it to level 50, and when you get to level 50, you only get one shot to beat level 50, and it's really hard to get to level 50. Chances are you're going to be putting a lot of money into the game even to get there. But if you get there, I don't know if this was true, it actually happened, but Atari said they would send you a Road Blaster t-shirt. And so that's when Ralph said, if Evelyn can get to level 50, now he just said can get to level 50. He didn't say beat the game. He just said, can she get to level 50, Retro Ralph would send her a Road Blasters t-shirt. I told that to my daughter, and she's just like, oh, okay. And she was kind of just doing things throughout the house and whatnot. And that's when she's like, okay, let's do this, right? So this next picture I'm going to show you is her getting to the 49th level. This is her beating level 49 within 2 hours, must have been 2 or 3 hours later. Beating level 49. She filmed it on her phone. And hold on, this is really loud for me, so I got to turn it down. So that's her proving that she got to that level. And this is her game over. Now, we have a little bit of overscan, but this is the game over. Right there is a 50. She made it to level 50 within a few hours. And then, let's see, then she got the high score right here, beating Retro Ralph. Retro Ralph's highest score, 213,265. My daughter Evelyn just whoops him at nearly 1 million on the score. You give her something to target, she's going to push hard for it. And there it is, EVE, her initials that she likes to use, beating Retro Ralph at Road Blasters. I messaged Ralph, what a nice guy. Almost right away, he's like, sends me a screenshot of our address to her, a t-shirt. Road Blasters is on its way. Man, as a father, it was a good moment. It was a good moment. Both ways, I've been friends with Ralph for a really long time, and for him to do that. And then, we're texting back and forth. He's loving doing the repair of the cockpit Road Blasters. He's given me a little bit of sneak peek of some of the progress he's made so far. So definitely take a look at those videos that he has already, where he started to get that Road Blasters, refurbished. And he's making some really, really cool decisions on taking the Road Blasters to the next level. I both enjoy the stand-up, but I also enjoy watching Ralph, doing the restore on the cockpit. So couldn't be happier with how that arrangement worked out. All right, guys. So now I'm going to take a look at the chat and see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I know. I wish you guys would do videos together again. We have talked about that recently, doing some videos. We came up with some pretty good ideas of how we could possibly revive 1UP Weekly to be something that is both enjoyable to both of us and enjoyable to the community. So that is something that we've talked about for sure. Yeah, Ralph just got schooled by my 13-year-old. That's awesome. So are all games going on sale tomorrow at Walmart or just The Simpsons? I don't really know, but definitely keep an eye out. Yeah, Dad must be proud. This is very true. Keep an eye out for those sales tomorrow. Clax29 says, with what she did on Road Blasters and Hydro Thunder, she should consider playing games professional. So I will tell you talk about a proud father. She wants to make games, and she's already doing it. She's very good as an artist at drawing, and she is already a programmer. This year, she's going to start learning Python. I'm a software developer. That's what I do full time. So I have given her that little bit of motivation. But I talked to her like, is this something that she would want to do professionally? But game design is definitely game development. That's what she wants to get into. I just realized my background's like really weird. It's like my desk. Let me show you guys. So I have a desk here that is Super Mario 3 on it, and evidently that's my background too. That's kind of weird. Why didn't anyone tell me? It should have been like this. There we go. It should have been that. Anyway, so let me show you one of the... Now I'm talking about my daughter. I hope she doesn't get mad about me for sharing this, but this is one of her recent drawings, just to kind of show you like how good she is. This is a digital drawing that she did all with an Apple Pencil. And so we've been pushing her really hard. She makes these characters like cats and foxes, and she is always integrating in games. She does animation. She has... It's one of those things like, do you have a kid? And this is what, my advice, I guess, as a father, this is what we've had success with. You have a kid, they're just obsessed about something. Well, my daughter would kind of go through these different obsessions, right? And there were certain things where like, okay, too much screen time. She had too much screen time. She was playing certain games like Roblox. It was just like the dedication to this game was just like beyond anything I ever did as a kid as well. So there was a little bit of like, could that be a problem? Like, you can do things too much. But then she started getting into drawing. And that it was like one of those things. I had seen that with some parents I'd seen before or heard about in articles where they said like musicians, like music, you could stay up all night if it's to play piano. You can play it, you don't have to go to bed. You could stay up all night if it's to play the guitar, creative things. I think that was Billie Eilish, I think, if I remember right. Billie Eilish parents were pretty strict, but they were like, if it's about music, you can do whatever you want. And so we kind of applied that. She still has a normal bedtime. But when it comes to drawing, like extended screen time, unlimited screen time when it comes to digital drawing. And she's just constantly doing it, but she's getting so good at it. And so now she's getting into high school and all her electives are digital drawing and stuff like that. So it seems to be working out so far. She has a passion, something that she really enjoys, and it doesn't, seem to be hurting anyone, and, her grades are not falling behind or anything like that. Let's see. Question. Do you see Arcade1Up making these cabs, or is it likely these come to iArcade? It's a good question. I know there was a little bit of drama recently about how iArcade basically said there's no way that it's not like Arcade1Up reviews the Sega titles first and then iArcade gets like the second pick, and I think that's true. But I do believe, what I'm trying to say is I believe iArcade just has just as many chances to get these titles as Arcade1Up. But one thing you can't take away is that when it comes to certain titles, if Sega were to pick who to partner with, and you're only going to partner with one, it's clear that Sega would partner with Arcade1Up if it's the right title for the right timing, demographic. You potentially could have a lot of reach in those sales. Definitely. And there's going to be some other titles that are going to be, I think, honestly, more niche, and maybe iArcade would be the right one to go with. Not trying to make any drama. Definitely, I took a week off. I was in Seattle for a whole week, and I came back, and YouTube was all drama. What's wrong with you people? Calm down. It's all good. No one ever meant to, whatever. I don't want to get into drama. Now I'm talking about drama. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I don't know. iArcade's going to do some Sega titles for sure. And Arcade1Up is going to do some Sega titles for sure. And I would say, like, Arcade1Up is probably going to try to lean towards the Sega titles that have very iconic cabinet looks, right? And very unique shapes. And, probably AAA-like titles. And there's probably going to be some overlap, right? There'll be overlap. And then there'll be some games that maybe be more exclusive to the iArcade or Arcade1Up. Hold on a second. We got a super chat from the man himself. Hold on a second. So we got Harold Miller renewing his support. 5 months. Appreciate that, brother. We got Tyler says, so Walmart restock will happen when? Thanks, man. So we got a couple different topics going on here. Let me see if I can follow it all. So Walmart is supposed to be doing according to someone who just commented in this video, Walmart is supposed to do some discounts tomorrow. Okay, so you got that. Check out for any of the deals that may be coming to Walmart. Go to your Walmart, check the Walmart online, see if it's true. Look on forums, look on Reddit, see if it's true. Try to go to your Walmart and pick that up. Now, it also means whenever Walmart does these liquidations, it means that there's going to be more cabinets purchased. So they probably already made that purchase order, probably even on titles that we don't know about and that we'll hear about probably in about a month, about 4 weeks. Sometime in June, there will likely be a new announcement of a fleet of cabinets. This happens every year. It's the summer of gaming period time, right? Or E3. IGN's going to do their summer of gaming, and Arcade1Up is probably going to attach their marketing to somewhere around there. And we heard that we will hear more about these titles, these new titles, sometime in June. And many of them have been leaked, but some of them have not. That was basically last week's episode. We were talking about that. So we'll see some restocks, and we'll probably see it online. We'll see about an announcement from Arcade1Up before there's any restocks physically in the store. So we'll hear about it first. Let me jump down. Paul, what is going on, brother? It's good to hear from you. Justin, did you throw in all of those Rolos to sweeten the deal? Yeah, that's funny. I did tell him about that. My daughter we were talking about making content about that cabinet, and a big thing was going to be the straws. Like, I had a plan for the thumbnail, and it was like, where did these straws come from? And that was kind of one of my plans. But of course, I sold it to Ralph, so I didn't end up making that video. Let's see. Delaware Sasquatch, it says, I was told by a Walmart associate that they might not stock any more 1-ups at the store, just online. Take that for what it's worth. So that's an interesting thought. That's what I assumed this was all about. That was my assumption. When I drove to Walmart's today, I assumed what would happen, I would get there, there wouldn't be any Arcade1Ups. Like, the entire aisle is gone. And if that was the case, the video today, which I committed to making the video on, but I didn't know the answer on. That was the whole thing. I'm going to say what is going on. I'm going to go out to at least my local area and report what I find. And I was talking to my daughter. I was like, yeah, this is the podcast episode today. Is going to be at Walmart, whatever. And I'm just going to document whatever I find and say that's my feedback. And she's like, oh, that's really cool. I'm like, I'm not taking a bias or an opinion on what it's going to be. It's just what I find. And based on what I found was one of the, you know, they haven't torn down anything, and some of them still have cabinets. But I did think, yeah. Let's see, Lewis Chambers is saying yes, but various Walmart associates have been saying that since 2016. You're so right, Lewis. It's true. They don't know. Okay, so we got a couple super chats I want to catch up on. Let's see. We got Retro Ralph, $10 super chat. Appreciate it. He goes, I was watching and heard the story about Evelyn. It was so awesome to see her make it happen. I was blown away within a few hours and sent her the level 50, and she sent the level 50 screenshot. Hope all is well. Go Suns. Yeah, man. All is going really well. Thank you for being a part of that. She was really proud that she got that far, and she's going to wear that. She's going to wear that t-shirt so proud. And what's so cool, Ralph, is that now Road Blasters is a part of her history. Just like when we were kids. Right? When we were kids. I was talking to my daughter about this today. We were listening to The Gaming Historian. So The Gaming Historian has a video on the Super Mario World. So as we were driving around, we were just listening to it. We're not watching it. I love to listen to The Gaming Historian while driving around. It's almost like a podcast, right? So I'm not seeing the visuals. Now I got to rewatch it because when we got to Walmart, I was looking at the visuals. And I was like, oh my God, like there used to be like the raccoon tail in Super Mario World. That was in one of the prototypes. And then we were learning about how because there was a chip shortage in the late 80s, early 90s, that delayed the Super Nintendo from being released, which gave the developers an extra year to make a better Super Mario World. And a better Super Mario World is what we got. And that's when they added all these design, the flying mechanics, you know, the where you can have multiple endings. Yoshi was developed. There's just like so many things that were developed because of the chip shortage. It's like a blessing in disguise. It was just awesome. But anyway, we were talking about that. So I said to my daughter, I was like, you know Super Mario World, right? Have you beat it? She's like, well, I've never beat it. I was like, I had you play it, right? She goes, yeah, I've played Super Mario 3. I'm like, I taught you how to fly, right? She goes, yes, Dad, you taught me how to fly. I can fly in Super Mario Bros. 3, and I can fly in Super Mario World, and I've beaten most of the levels in Super Mario World, but she goes, I don't think I've ever beat the game, but we got it on a 3DS, and so she played Super Mario World on 3DS. And so I was like, oh, that's good. It's about your history. That game is something that you will appreciate when you get older as well, because it's a game you played in your childhood. So I've selected specific games that are just great to kind of like make sure that she plays those games. But she also plays games I don't play, like Minecraft and stuff, and that's additional game that's part of it. But what's cool is Road Blasters is a part of that, and Road Blasters Arcade is a part of that. And she physically has owned in our house together, me and her, the cockpit for a while, and now a stand-up. And that's cool. And that's the thing I've been talking about recently with these arcades. Like when I spend $500 or $300 on an arcade, or sometimes more, like some of them I'm going to keep for a really long time, and some of them I'm going to resell. So if I can get my money back, it's almost like I rented that arcade for a while. So if you have a space in your garage, I'm telling you, the garage is a great place to put your arcades. I mean, everyone has a different situation in their life, but like this is a possibility. That's what I learned. I could do it in my garage. I can have them temporarily. I can work on them, and I can resell them. And I haven't made a lot of content about that. I don't know. There's a lot of content out there for arcades, and maybe it's something that I'll do later if I have the interest. But what I do like to do is buy them and fix them up and resell them at another auction. And I don't know. There's something about that where it's like I can spend $300 on a cabinet and then sell it for $500 and make a little money, and I had it for a while. That's cool. But there's a certain set of cabinets that I won't get rid of. That Road Blasters stand-up, we said that's a keeper. My daughter and I agree on that. The Play Choice 10 that I have back here, that one's a keeper. The Play Choice 10 is going to come down into my basement. So that's my plan there. But I have a couple Williams cabs. I have 2 Williams cabs, and one of them, I can actually show you some of them if you're interested. Let me pull those up. I think I have pictures of them. Do that in just a second. I can kind of explain that project. Oh, look at this. iCloud's just like flipping out on me. Let me open it back up again. Anyway, so I bought this other Williams cab for like $250. And that's the thing. With a lot of the arcade prices going up, I really do like the deals. But where the deals I'm finding are recently are on the full-size arcades. And some of them, so I have them pulled up here. I'll show you. All right, so this is my garage. You can see all the arcades in there. This one I got for $250, and it's a Williams cabinet, but it has a Neo Geo in it. And maybe I'll do better high-quality videos of these, and you can check it out. This is a Williams cab that I got from Arcade Eric, which is like pristine condition, has the multi-Williams on it. This one I just got a J-Rock. It's a FPGA board. Got it for like $250. That's the MSRP, but they've been going for like $750 recently. So I was going to put that sucker in here, and you can play Defender, Stargate. I don't know, it's like 5 or 6 games on there. It has Sinistar on it, but it's sideways, right? So you'd have to flip the screen to be able to do it. So you can't really play Sinistar on it unless it was a dedicated cabinet. But this one, I'm going to make it look like this one on the right. That's my plan. Paid $250, another $200 for shipping because I got it in Missouri, so I'm in like $450. Now $500, $600, $700. I'm in $700. But I think for another $100, $200, I can get it all redone. And maybe sell it for like 13, 14, 15. Even if I broke even. Even if I broke even, it would be fine. But this one's a keeper. This Williams, I got this from Arcade Eric, and it's good. And then I got this other, probably is a keeper. The Zaxxon I got for like $400. And then this Play Choice is the one back here. Another Play Choice that I have that I plan on restoring. Anyway, so those are kind of fun little projects. Let's see, we got another super chat here. I will highlight. There we go. Ralphie. Oh, wow. This is really appreciate it. Here's to your daughter for beating Ralph. Good job, young Padawan. She would appreciate that in so many ways. She's a huge Star Wars fan as well. We're really looking forward to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. No spoilers. I don't know anything. But I mean, I do know some of the leaks, but it's going to be epic. I'm not going to say any of the leaks, but it's going to be epic. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be better than Boba Fett. Boba Fett was all right. It was like Boba Fett was basically like Mandalorian season 3 starting at like episode 4 or 5 or whatever. Anyway, let's see what else you guys. Michael B, the Game Genie, says, I would love to see you make videos on this stuff if you are interested. Don't be discouraged by others. Other people, just make what makes you happy. Yeah, appreciate that. Mike Tyson's Punch Out Airline Edition would be fun. That was crazy. I did watch those videos. I tell you what I've been watching recently. I've been watching a ton of the, what is it? The Amber Heard. And is anyone else? Hit 1 in the chat if you've watched a little bit of the Johnny Depp stuff. If you don't know about it, the Johnny Depp, I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean, right? They make that a video game. So I've been watching that. It's very interesting. I'll tell you why it's interesting. We got a few people. Yeah, no interest. There's other people. This is a very divided group of people that are like, you know, yes, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I'm totally watching. And other people are like, no. Either way, for those of you that are not interested in Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, listen up. I'm not gonna try to sell you on the Johnny Depp, but here's the thing. When it comes to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I think there hasn't been a public case like this with Twitter, with the internet, with all of the social media at all happening, right? Think of Casey Anthony. That was a huge case. I remember 2008, I want to say 2007, 2008, 2009, somewhere in that area, right? But social media at its today prime didn't exist back then. Keep in mind the Casey Anthony case, which was a huge murder trial, right? That happened on TV. We were watching like TV when that case was unfolding. Nancy Grace was covering it, right? But then this Johnny Depp case and Amber Heard, I mean, it's all on YouTube, right? Like you can, once you get in that bubble, your YouTube is filled with Johnny Depp information. So I think that's just kind of interesting. You know, I won't get into the details of the drama or who I side with or anything like that. I don't think Who knows what's going on? But I find that social aspect of it interesting. It's a big case. Let's see. We say, I remember when the O.J. Simpson's trial dragged on for months in the early 90s. That's right. Remember that. This case is insane being televised, right? Can't do anything foolish anymore because of social media. Yeah, Warner Bros. Did Johnny dirty. Yeah, so, yeah, that's an interesting claim where, you know, like it was all set up and it was all to... I know, right? I was... The other day, I was talking to I was in Seattle all week with coworkers and we were spending all this extra time together. I was talking to this one coworker and we were talking about like the worst thing you could say at work. And one was like if an architect was reading a new design and they're like, "Do you agree?" The worst thing you could say is, "Yes, you read that correctly." We were cracking up so much. Yes, you continued to read that correctly. Are you telling? Yeah, this was so good. A megapint. A megapint. That was so good. I don't know. It's just his delivery, right? His delivery is so good. Hobby Hands with a super chat. Thank you for the donation. He says, I avoid all videos on Kenobi. Picked up Nintendo 64 at a thrift store. Awesome, dude. That's good. But the guy just grabbed this. Oh, the CD32. So close. Good show. Appreciate that. Man, I got to check out those thrift stores. The thrift stores. Yeah, the thrift store pickups. I've been thinking about trying to go for that route. Let's see. I used to do garage sale pickups, and I got a game. My GameCube that I have came with like 10 games. That was a garage sale pickup. I think I paid maybe a little more than I should have on it. You know, I paid like $100, but it came with a ton of GameCube games. The best deal I got was my neighbor. My neighbor had a Sony PlayStation 2, the thin one, and like 20 games, $5. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be getting that. I still have it. I think I'm gonna be selling off some of those games. I want to talk about that just for a second. Those of you who don't know, I've done this one time before, and I'll do it again. This is my desk. So this is something that I picked up from Whatnot. And here's the thing about Whatnot. If you don't know about it, Whatnot is basically like eBay, but like on your phone, and it's live. And so I got this for $30. It's a Super Mario Brothers 3 complete in box for $30. It was a heck of a deal. Now, if you look hard and you have a lot of patience, every now and then you can get a deal like this, okay? So my plan was to get more and more of these complete in box and just kind of hold on to them, but just some of the big titles, some of the really big titles. But I'm selling off all my loose carts, and that's what I'll be doing a Whatnot stream on, where I'm selling. And I always, I usually start at $1 or, $5 or so. And so just kind of show you, I'm actually doing this right now to show you that I have another camera. I'm just bragging. So you got camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. And I was like, I should do camera 3 more often. I never do camera 3. Anyway, and then we got some Spy Hunter coming up soon. How about some Super Seed? You guys remember this game? And here is a good one. Mega Man 6. Look at the quality of that label. Very good quality on a Mega Man 6 label. Anyway, so I'll be doing the live What stream. What stream is pretty good. I just grabbed a handful of these. I'll probably do about 20 in a single live stream. Again, this is my idea. I have about 200 Nintendo cartridges, but I'm trying to pick up, maybe about 10. I think I'm going to go scale down to about 10 complete in box like this, and then sell off all these, and then use this for funding arcades and whatnot. Hey, I said whatnot when I'm talking about Whatnot. That's kind of fun. Yeah, Wada would rate that a 9. I don't know, about 9.9. I don't think so. I should grade them. I don't know if this is that's the wrong camera. Here we go. I don't think this is a 9.9. No way. This ain't that good. It's not that good. It's not sealed. This isn't sealed. This is just in a case, you know, like a... This is just in a case. Let's see. We got some good conversations about this now. We go. Mike says, I started doing a complete in-box NES collection about a year ago because I love that Mario 3 box so much. I added Mario 2, Zelda, Tyson, Baseball Stars, and a handful of others. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm in the same boat. That's where I'm at. Like, I want to do a complete in-box. Not sealed. Sealed is just way out of my... Why is it doing this? Sealed is just... I need a hotkey for the desk cam. Anyway. My thrift store. Hobby Hands, he's saying my thrift store... Come on. My thrift store are pretty good. I got my PS3, PS2, Wii, the versions that play GameCube, and many, many games. Dude, that's awesome. That's killer. I got to check out my thrift store a little bit more often. See if I can get some good deals there. Paul says, who buys Super Mario Brothers in 1985 and doesn't open it? Okay, guys. I got to tell you this story. Okay. Get some mood music here. Okay. So here's the story about complete in-box action set Super Mario Brothers. So here's what happened. So I had this guy come over to my old house, the house that I lived in before, and he was doing some construction work. I think it was like replacing the water. I can't remember. There was some warranty issue, and he came and he fixed it, right? And he saw that I had a complete in-box Nintendo action set, okay? Now, this is something that I picked up. It's not sealed, though, right? I got a deal on eBay, $100. I paid $100. Now, it was someone that had never sold anything on eBay before at all. So they had zero. So I bought a Nintendo action set, hoping that it would actually come. And I have it. It's right over there. I wish I could show it to you. It's in pristine condition. It literally cost me $100. I mean, the NES itself is probably worth $100, but with the box, I don't know why they were selling it. Whatever. So I have it, and this guy's commenting on it. He's saying, I got to tell you a story. So this is me telling his story. Okay, you ready for it? The year was I'm gonna dramatize it. The year was 1987, and I was a little kid, and my parents were mad at me and my sister because for Christmas we got the Nintendo, the one with Mario and Duck Hunt in it. And when we unpacked it, we were about to completely unpack it, but my sister and I were fighting. We were constantly fighting back and forth over who was going to play it first. And my parents said, no, stop. They took the Nintendo and they put it under their bed. And then we all forgot about it. 30 years later, my parents, unfortunately, they passed away. So we go back to their house and the family is collecting all the heirlooms and the estate and gathering everything together. And we lift up their bed and what do we see? That Nintendo, fully sealed from 1987, never been opened, been collecting dust under there. I thought to myself, those aren't worth anything. So we tore it wide open and I gave it to my kids, who at the time was obsessed over the Nintendo Wii. And I tried to show them, boy, there's a game, Super Mario Brothers, and it had an origin. They played it for a day. Now it's in the closet. End of story. So here I am, listening to this guy in my office, him telling this story about how he unsealed an original Nintendo that was under a bed for some 30 years. And he goes, yeah, because they're not worth anything anymore. And I just was like, yeah, you're right. I could not tell him. You fool! What have you done? It's like Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber. Do you realize what you've done? The town is that way. Anyway, yeah, he left. And all I got out of that was that story. And he will never know the mistake that he made, for sure. Yeah, for sure. That was crazy. All right. Appreciate the super chat. Delaware says next week when we need to compare yard sale finds. All right. I've been looking recently. I've been thinking about it. So there is, I got to get back to this person in the Des Moines area on Facebook Market. There's this person that has 2 Dell 19-inch 4x3 monitors. Those are the ones that are a little more expensive. They only want $10. They're like 2 for $20. And I was like, are they still available? And they're like, yeah. So I'm going to try to pick those up because slapping those in an Arcade1Up, or I mean, that's another thing. Like, you have a lot of these Arcade1Ups and you buy them at a certain price. And there's some people that fix them up and sell them to other people and they make a little bit of money on it. And you can use that money to buy more retro gear. You know, that's what I do. If I make a profit off of anything, it's always listen, at the end of the year, like Console Kids is technically a company, you know, whatnot, and the money that I make on ad revenue. I mean, it's technically like a side business, right? Now, I lose money, always lose money, because all that money is just my, hey, I never own Knuckles, let me buy Knuckles. That's coming out of any profit that I make of, like, I used to buy and sell NES consoles. I would refurbish them, buy them for $20, get them all cleaned up, and then put them on eBay and sell them for $50 or $100. I never wanted to take advantage of anyone, so I'd always price it a little bit lower than the going rate, you know, or maybe just put it on there as an auction and see what it goes for. That's why I love Whatnot. I can be like, here's Mega Man 6. Let's start the bid at $1. There you go. I had this for a while. Can't remember what I paid for it. Maybe $50. I'm not sure. I can't really remember what I paid for it. I know Mega Man 1 was like $80. But hey, on Whatnot, things, some of them go pretty well, and some of them you got a deal. Some of them I got a deal. I don't know. Some of the price inflation has gone up. I don't know. I bought some of these games like 5 years ago, so some of the games are going up in value, going down in value. It is what it is. And then, but I haven't done a lot on the thrift store. I haven't done a lot on... I've only done a couple garage sales. But I remember, like, I got the bug, and the very first garage sale I went to, like, those 2 that I was talking about, the PlayStation, GameCube. I don't know if I just got lucky, but I was like, man, I could do this every weekend, and it would be a lot of fun. And I'd probably spend a lot of money that I don't need to spend. Let's see. N64 EverDrives can now emulate the NES. This is a really good topic. I'm really excited about it. Now, I do believe that the N64 EverDrive, maybe I'm mistaken, I don't play it a lot. I don't play my Nintendo 64 a lot. But I do have the N64 EverDrive. I thought it could do NES already, but now it's going to do a lot better. I could be wrong. Like, maybe it never had a core. I swear I remember playing Super Mario Brothers on a Nintendo 64, but the emulation was horrible. Yeah, so the story on that is Crits has announced, this is pretty interesting, the guy behind the EverDrives who had to flee his country because of a certain known war in that region is now set up shop somewhere else and is just, he plans on being back in stock on Monday. Now, I did hit this. I wanted to buy a Game Boy Advanced EverDrive. It's something that I never picked up. And I had to pay way over price on that. I think he sells those for, oh, what is it, $150? I think I paid $275 for mine. And I was doing that because I wanted to do research on the, you know, the video that I put out for the Consolizer. I wanted to make sure I had an EverDrive for that. And again, sometimes I get great deals. I have friends in the retro gaming industry, you know, that are part of companies or whatnot. And sometimes I reach out to them and I'm like, could I get a deal? Do you have any spare parts? Or do you have this? I'm looking for this. And at retail, it's, you know, $100 and I'm able to get it for like 30 or something. So sometimes I get a good deal and sometimes I gotta get, you know, spend way too much. But I thought Crits was going to be out of business for a long time. But I saw on Twitter, if you guys saw, he had a couple really popular tweets recently. It's, we got stock coming out soon. And it shows like his like machines that are doing a pick and place on the EverDrives. So he set up shop. And the other thing was he's got these new cores coming out for the Nintendo 64 EverDrive that allows you to play NES on the Nintendo 64 EverDrive. I hope he gets his business back and operating again because it sucks that he had to flee his country. And it sounds like he's safe now. So that's really good. See what other topics you guys got going on in the live chat. People are saying they would love to find The Simpsons for $149. The Bill's Retro Gaming Show. He says, enjoy the rest of the show, guys. Gotta go. Thank you for the fun topics. No problem, Bill. Let's see. Did you punch him? I think you're referring to the guy, right? That ripped open his NES. Yeah, I wanted to. You'll have to excuse me. My friend's a little slow. Yes, Dumb and Dumber, right? I even got Zelda and Mario Bros. Fake displayed cartridge. You know those huge display fake cartridges. I have to check that out. Is that a thing? If you can email me that, man. I mean, I love genuine stuff, but if you're saying there's like this replica thing, that's pretty cool. There was someone that recently recommended this drink. Can't remember what it's called, but it's pretty good. What is it called? Something basil or something? Yeah, I have the Dell 20-inch that I will eventually put in one of my modded Arcade1Ups. I think I have two now. Still not in Arcade1Ups, and then I may get two more. But yeah, I have a lot of older cabs in the garage. In fact, Gen 1 Pac-Man with a 16-1 in it. If I threw that 19-inch in it, vertical, it would improve its value. That is something that I plan on auctioning off. I think that might go pretty well, actually, because it'll be a bigger screen. People will know it's modded. It's got a really nice control panel from DIY Retro Arcade with a trackball, 3 buttons, perfect for the 60-1. Yeah, it's a good unit. Let's see, is Fox your? I can't remember if it was this show or Fox show. Yeah, Basil Hayden. That's it. That's what this is. It's definitely different. I'm used to makers, and so this kind of has like a way different taste in it. It's good though. JJ, you're back. Just joined. I have to watch the replay, but as always, Justin has great topics to lead off the discussion each week. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll probably put a 20-inch Dell in my modded Space Invaders, which has a PC and a custom 4-player control panel. There you go. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Now, that's the thing. If you go on eBay, what I've seen is some of those Dell 20 inches go for that higher price. I think they're still like that, right? But definitely check in your local Facebook market. Some people are just selling off because those were really popular. Those were like a lot of people own them. Like I remember I used to do installs. I used to be an installer for cable. So back in the like early 2000s, I would go to your house and like install high-speed internet. And this is back in the day before people had network cards built into their computer, like before Wi-Fi was popular. And so we'd have to install like network cards in computers. There were so many people that had Dell equipment. And I think, let's say right around that time, a couple of years later at work, we started switching from CRT monitors to the Dell. And I remember like the entire office had the Dell, but for sure it was the 5x4 monitor because it was 1280 by 1024 was the highest resolution that you could push that monitor to. And yeah, I mean, I wonder if they still have them too, because that company's still around, or did they ever liquidate those monitors? But yeah, they had hundreds of them. Dude, it's Dell. Yeah. Let's see. Allowed to get Gen 1 cabs, which would you recommend? Always have the skill to mod if that helps. Okay, so if you're going to get a Gen 1 Arcade1Up cabinet, here's the deal. It depends. If you want to do a mod, let's say you want to do a mod. You want to divide the two cabinets into vertical cabinets or horizontal cabinets. So you have to ask yourself, and this is really important because the different types of mod are either horizontal mods or vertical mod. There's not really a mod for an Arcade1Up that's like both horizontal and vertical. Those are like essentially paths you commit to. So first you want to look into that. Like if you want to do the 60-1, I'll kind of share my screen if you want to, if you guys are interested in this topic. Hit 1 in the chat if you like modding topics, and we'll talk about it for a little bit. And those in the chat that are experts at modding, feel free to talk about it. Yeah, okay, let's talk about it, okay? So I'm trying to do this blindly here. Let's see. Okay, I'm full screen. That's why it's crazy. All right, this will take just 1 second to pull up, and I can illustrate some information about modding. Okay, so check it out. So DIY Retro Arcade. If you're new to modding, and it sounds like you are, allowed to get a Gen 1 cab, which would you recommend? Okay, so let's check this out. If you go to DIY Retro Arcade, whether you buy from him or not, it's still a good starting place to check out. So he actually has his website categorized for Arcade1Up. So you can do full-size arcades, you can do Arcade1Up 3/4 scale, and then you can go to kits, okay? So he has all these kits. So let's take a look at this one. This is a kit. It's a 60-in-1, and he puts it right in there. What is it for? It's for vertical machines. So this would work in a Pac-Man, like a Gen 1 Pac-Man or a Space Invaders. Those are vertical arcades. And so you pay $149, which I think is a pretty decent deal for all that you're getting. Yeah, Chris, you make a good point. You're saying that Intech are the cheapest. Let's talk about Intech in just a moment. So this is a 60-in-1. This thing usually goes for, I don't know, like $35 to $50 just for the board. It is an older technology, but it emulates about 60 games. Technically a little bit less, but it has some duplication. But the duplication is in there for a reason, because you can have like multiple Galagas. But when you pick those Galagas, like this one's like a fast mode Galaga and this one's standard, you can kind of like repeat games but have different modes on it. Oh, he said get one, not Gen 1. Is that right? Gen 1, not... Am I reading it? Get one, not Gen. Wow. Can I... This stuff's good. All right, all right. Let's say for a moment that you wanted to get a Gen 1 cabinet. Intech will print your TPS reports. Okay, so here's an option. Either way, if you're going to get an Arcade1Up and you want to mod it, there are vertical ones and then there's horizontal ones. Let's all keep drinking. Okay, so that is an option for modding. There are other kits out there. And he's got some new ones coming out, which I really like him because he tries to provide basically everything you need to get going. You got Pandora's Box. You got like the AtGames. Here's the Nintendo Switch conversion. $179 for a Nintendo Switch conversion. Okay, so then we're going to go to, I think we can just go to my website, right? Deals.consulkits.com. And at the very top, I have these pin deals. And I think somewhere in here. There we go. Here's the Intech stuff. So here's an example. $139. It's pretty good. This is going to get you this. This is the fighting stick. Now this one's for the Genesis. Why did I pick on the Genesis? I didn't want to pick on the Genesis. I wanted to do... Where is it? The Switch one, right? That's the NES. Here's the Switch one. There you go. So the Switch one, $113. This is a control panel, but it's going to come with everything you need. And this is an important guideline. I don't think they really explain it on the site very well, because it looks like all you're going to get is a control panel, but you get more. You get the adapter to be able to connect HDMI. So they don't even show it. They need to work on that. So the Nintendo Switch plugs into an adapter that they provide that connects to the monitor, and then this connects to... This becomes your control panel that will wirelessly connect to your Nintendo Switch. There you go. So they provide that. It's a pretty decent mod. They also have, the Intech Gaming has this one. Same thing. It's going to come with 2 parts in it, not just one. It's going to come with something that you can, you can connect to the control panel. This one actually plays Sega Genesis, and then the control panel is connected. It's all embedded, right? So you got the Sega Genesis cartridge slot right there, and it's basically got a Sega Genesis inside it. It's not a real Sega Genesis, it's just like an emulator. But so the buttons just connect directly into the circuit board, and then an HDMI cable comes out of it, and it comes to the adapter that they provide that connects to the monitor. And Bob's your uncle. You can play Sega Genesis games on it, and you can buy like multi-carts. I have an entire video on it. You can check it out. Just look look for my videos. You'll see, how to play Sega Genesis games on your Arcade1Up. In fact, I have another video coming out maybe even this week. I got to get to another cool thing about the Intech gaming that you can do. So keep an eye out for that. Chris says, here's the cool part. All the Intech panels work off the same ribbon cable, so you can swap decks. There you go. So you can get like the Sega Genesis one, play that for a while, then unplug, and then plug in the NES version, and all you're doing is pulling out those 4 screws, sliding in the new deck, plugging it in, you're good to go. Good point. Let's see. He says because the plugins are different, if I remember correctly. No, I think I can swap the... yeah, I can swap the NES. No problem, right? You can use the same exact converter, and you just unplug, plug in the NES, plug in the Sega Genesis. I mean, it takes a minute. It's not like instantly. It's not like it's going to switch instantly. So, Justin, where's the best place to get a quality lit-up marquee for the Marvel Superheroes cabinet? Woo. Let's see in the chat if you guys want to make a recommendation. There's a couple out there. There's one that makes pretty decent ones that a lot of people recommend, and I would recommend. You can get very customized, but you have to go to Facebook Market for that, or you have to have Facebook Messenger, and some people get kind of complain about that. But this ability is kind of like the community's agreed upon like go-to place. I want to say like 90% of everyone is like, this ability has amazing customer service. He'll call you, if you need to talk to him about your specific setup. You contact him on Facebook. Just look for this ability, and then you contact him tell him what you want, tell him what your needs are, and he'll, set up payment. It's just kind of, it's not a web store or anything like that. It's just, but he's highly trusted. He's got hundreds of customers, and he's reliable. I haven't bought anything from him recently, but I think he's still in business, is my understanding. Let's see. He sent me like a ton of light up, so I'm like all stocked up with even some future ones. So I still haven't done the Street Fighter. I should do the Street Fighter. I wanted to, I just haven't had time. Okay. Let's see. HDMI as well. Forgot to point out that the NES and Sega, yeah, these are HDMI out, so you can plug them into a TV as well. And there's other things that can do HDMI as well that do good. Let's see. And that's the thing that I wanted to talk about. Like, I had a video that was on the mini consoles, which are also HDMI. Those can plug into the Intech Gaming. They have these little adapters to go to the mini console. They really are trying to make a very versatile modding for people that are very new to modding. Basically, everything they do is solderless, so that's pretty good. And then the speakers built in, which is pretty nice, so you don't have to worry about wiring up any speakers. Their control panel has speakers built into it. So if you go to Intech Gaming, you're gonna probably do external speakers, and so that's kind of like. But some people want to do external speakers because they're gonna do like really high quality speaker out. So it could be a thing. There's a lot of options out there. See what else everyone is talking about. Everyone's making their recommendations, which is really great. Let's see what else we got. I saw something that was interesting. Budget $500. So curious if you just mod an Arcade1Up or wait for the Legends Ultimate sale. It's a good point. That's some people just go with the Legends Ultimate and then sideload games on it. When you're talking about the price, I don't know. It kind of depends. Like, if you want a project, some people like projects. So you go with the Arcade1Up if you want the project. In some ways, the Legends Ultimate is also a project. It's just a software project. So you got to like load. Yeah, everything takes time. Even if it is like, oh, you can go download this file and it has all the games on it and it's like pretty quick. There's still a time investment because you got to learn that. You got to find the right forums. You got to find the right people that are talking about it. You got to have the right firmware. And then you got to, basically, there's a time investment in learning. And some of you might be like, there's no time investment. That's because you already took the time investment, like all of us did, and you spent tons of hours. All of this is a time investment, whether you're going to get Intech Gaming. I think Intech Gaming, probably the least amount of time investment, I want to say. But it doesn't have the highest quality. Like, their stuff is just really, really simple. But like, I mean, if you use like a real Nintendo or maybe even a Raspberry Pi, you might even get better quality out of it. Like the Nintendo Switch one is pretty good. You can play Nintendo Switch games on it, but the screen is kind of squished, so it's not perfect. But what can you do, right? It's a 4x3 screen. You're trying to play like Switch games on it, and so you can kind of letterbox it. But then like the screen's really small. It is what it is. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. So you get to learn, you get to play things, you get to try things. I love it all. Just, I love learning about all the different things that are out there. I mean, I have the Legends Ultimate and the Arcade1Up, and I've modded Arcade1Ups. Retro 530, that's another one. You can go to Retro 530. They have a lot of good stuff at that store. I bought a few things from them as well. If you buy a Sanwa for Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, it installs perfectly if you switch the metal plate with the plug-in. Needs to be cut off and swapped. Yeah, so that's another pretty good trick that you can do when you buy, like you upgrade the joysticks as well. Like the plate that comes with the Arcade1Up is already perfectly aligned to the screws. I think early on I made a video on how you can like thread new holes. And so that's an option too. Even that is not too hard. Just don't go too deep. And just have the right bit that like lines up with the shaft of the screw, but not the threading of the screw. You could do that. Takes a couple minutes, no big deal. Or you switch the plates. And so you make it where the brand new Sanwa control panel that you, Sanwa joystick that you buy, you take the plate off and you use the Arcade1Up plate. You know why? Because it's probably going to fit on that Sanwa. It's going to attach to it, and then it'll work perfectly because it has the same screw holes as, because it is the one that was in the Arcade1Up. So it's a pretty good trick. Any word on Pac-Man Arcade1Up 8-game Partycade portable home arcade machine? Sold out everywhere I looked. Now here's my question. I don't think so, and the reason why, the 8-game Pac-Man is like a 2020 version, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's early 2021. So here's the idea. If you go to, let's try it out here. We're gonna open up a new window here. We're gonna go to HSN. We'll do the Partycade. The latest version is the 10 game. Okay. And so every single year, Arcade1Up comes out with a new Partycade. They started with like 2 games, and then 3 games, and then maybe 6. I want to say 8. And then for sure they did 8. And now they're at 10. And they're probably going to be 12 this next year, right? And so you can kind of trace the generation of the Partycades based on how many games are in it. Now, the 10-game Partycade has a light-up marquee. And they range from $200 to $300. And so, yeah, it's the Dorkade. The Dorkade. I think they're pretty good. Anyway, so you got Super Pac-Man as an example. And you can save 15%. And if you want to save $50, I want to show you this. Let me show you this, okay? This is insane. Like, I have no benefit in doing this, but I did it for some reason. So I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of HSN credit that I can't use, okay? I can't use the HSN credit because it's just like impossible to use it all. But let me tell you what I did. But I did this to help you out. I never told anyone I did this. But first of all, this is my website, consultations.com. Full disclosure, this website is funded by donations and ad revenue from this video that you're watching. Some links above are affiliate links, and they do generate a commission for me and no cost to you. In reality, the commission on this is not that great. The website doesn't cost very much. I do it because it helps me keep track on things. But there was, again, this is something that I added because it adds no value to me, but it adds value to you. If you go to an HSN, wow, Partycade, will that work? Here we go. We have a Partycade here. If you click on an HSN, this is what's going to happen. I put a link in all the HSN that says you're my friend. It's a referral code. Now technically, I get $50 every single time you do this. But I can't use it because I have to spend $100 to use the friend code. Like, I can't go on HSN and just like constantly spend money. But you get a $50 discount. So you click on this, it's going to take you to HSN. This is a bad example because it's sold out. But it's immediately saying, hey, enter your email address to unlock the $50 reward. I added into the URL the friend landing experience so that when you click on it, and I've been tracking it, I get emails constantly that's like, another person did it, another person did it. And I'm like, this is great. It'd be awesome if somehow, like, seriously, if I actually made real money on this, I would invest it into something that would be really beneficial for the community, do giveaways or whatever. But it's at least 20 that I've gotten in the last month. But yeah, that's worse than Kohl's Cash. But here's what's cool when I do this. I wonder if HSN's gonna like ban me for doing this. You will get the $50 discount because all you have to do is buy the product, put in your email address, and you're gonna get this referral of $50. And then I get tons of them. But again, if Arcade1Up did come out with it, here's why I can't really use it. Like, I could use the $50 discount, but it only works on one item, and the item has to be $100 or more. And it's like, I don't buy from HSN that often. But anyway, so what were we talking about? You get 50, and you get 50, and you get 50? No. Yeah. Like Oprah. Okay, anyway, going back to Partycades. The latest Partycades are the 10-game one, and you get a light-up marquee, and you get 10 games. If you go and find the 8 one, you're not gonna get a light-up marquee because that's like last year's model. And this is also like already being an old model. This particular Partycade, I think this came out. When was it? Hack the website, Justin? I don't know. This came out like last year, so we're still waiting for the 2022 Partycade models, which are probably going to be better than the 2021. Donut says he can't believe they're still... Why? Can't believe they're still selling them? Okay, so check this out. While we're on the topic of Partycades, we were just talking about... How long in this stream? We're going to go full 2 hours on this. We're going to line right into 19K Fox. We're going to go the whole way, right? Did 19K Fox have a show tonight? Let me double check. I didn't see his announcement. 19K Fox. Yeah. He's got a show in 30 minutes. Let's ride it all the way till then, right? Let's do a 2-hour show. The 2-hour shows are fun. Okay, anyway. DIY Retro Arcade. DIY Retro Arcade. And he's got some new Partycade. So if you go in here, you hit Partycade Kits. Boom. He's got this new one. Arcade1Up Partycade 60-in-1 conversion. You pay $131 and you can play 60 games on your Partycade. And so I reached out to him and I was like really interested in this. And I told him like I would love to do a video on it. I even said, I don't really want to keep it forever, but I was like, if you send me a kit, I'd like, I don't know, take it, do a video on it, send you the kit back, or send you the Partycade. I don't know. There's like a different ways we could do it. I already have a 16-1 if I want to play the 16-1 games, but I want to play with it, right? And I don't want to like constantly spend money on what I want to play with. It's only like I want to play with it for a weekend and then I don't want to play with it anymore. That's basically where I'm at. Yeah, the website's pretty good. It updates every day. If you don't know about it, I have a script that runs every single day on the website. And so there are over 200 links on this website. Each one of these are a different link. And the website is fully republished every morning. So when I run the script, essentially no products. Once I run the script, it deletes everything it remembered, goes and finds all of the prices, and then republishes the data. And so every day, this is fresh data. And I'm also starting to track the price changes over time, which is daily. There's price changes every day. And I plan on building a page where like you can click on this or something. Like if you click on the price, I don't know, maybe there's a button here, like a little button right there. You click on it, it'll do a price charting. and it'll show like, oh, Simpsons 4-player used to be $5.29 on this date, and then it went down to $3.99 on that price at that date. And so my belief is you can come in there, and maybe I'll have an icon in here that says like there's a little button that's like there's 2 price changes. If you click on it, you can see the history. So for example, if the Simpsons 4-player was $5.99, it would show you it used to be cheaper. So you might want to wait for the price to come back down. That's kind of my plan. So, and a good example of that right here is the QVC. If you looked at the QVC, it would show that it used to be, I think it dropped down to like 160. Is that right? I think 160 was the low price, and then now it's at 249. It's a good one. It's a good one for sure, but it used to be, you know, it shows that there was a deal. Okay, so Partycade kits, these will only work on Partycades with a vertical screen. I mean, they're the ones that make sense. So this is a perfect one. You go with Super Pac-Man, 3 buttons. Guess what? The 16-1 is perfect for how many? 3 buttons. And this comes with a kit where you can do the 16-1 PCB JAMA. You get to play with JAMA if you never played with JAMA. So it's a little connector that plugs right into the PCB. And you wire these to the buttons and sticks. And then you have a VGA out. And he gives you a VGA cable. And then he gives you the power supply. And somewhere in here, there's an adapter that will go from, I think it's this one. Not really sure which one it is. I think it's this one. It's going to go from the VGA to the monitor. So you can connect the monitor. Even gives you a replacement joystick. So you can replace all the parts with his, you know, this is a genuine Sanwa 5-button joystick that you're going to get. You get the 16-1 JAMA board. Basically everything you need. This is why I love DIY Retro Arcade, because $139 and it's just everything you need to do the mod, right? If you want to do the 16-1 mod, this is everything you need. All you got to do is bring your screwdriver and whatever parts you need. Boom. It's all in one kit. It's great. It's great. All right, what else we got going on? Can't go wrong with Galaga. There you go. I really like it. I painted the trim bright green. What are you talking about? I bought a newer Galaga Arcade1Up, probably one of the few. Ah, there you go. Yeah, there's some different people that are doing some mods that are pretty cool. Chris says, anyone ever noticed the Partycade Galaga version were different with the 2 buttons versus the 3-button models? Yeah, I think they had a couple different ones. I wasn't tracking closely. Like, let's say, for example, right here, you got Super Pac-Man. It's got 3 action buttons, and then it has a button on the left. This is based on the games that it has in it. But if you go to the Ms. Pac-Man, it's going to be different, right? Ms. Pac-Man. Now we got a video. Come on. Ms. Pac-Man's just got the 1 button because likely, I mean, most likely, it doesn't contain any games that are multi-button. And so when it comes to if you're going to do a 61 conversion, the most amount of buttons that you need for the 16-1 is 3 buttons. I think it's like 1 or 2 games that you can even get away with, like, do a 16-1 with only like 1 or 2 buttons. It's just like 1 or 2 games won't play because you need that 3rd button. I can't remember which one it is. It's like, I don't know, Gunsmokers. I can't remember. Like Hyrule Warriors. I can't remember what game it is. It's a dumb game I never play anyway. I remember like doing a mod. I'm like, do I really need the 3 buttons? It's just for this game I'm never gonna play. So you might not want to get Ms. Pac-Man because then you would have to drill. You see, you have to drill in more buttons. And you're like, I don't want to do that. Let's see if they have Galaga in here. Are we really talking about Partycades? What else we got? Yeah, games aren't that important. I'm talking about, I bought the 3/4, not countercade. There you go. I see. Let's see what else we got. Another Partycade mod. I've got 3 of them. One 99X mod with a Pi. Won't mod Defender. So, yeah. Yeah, I got Defender. At best is what I was thinking about. Let's see if I can pull this up here. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. So, I want to show you this thing where... what was it? I'm looking at some of the things I did. I got a lot of pictures of Amber Heard My dog stepped on the bee. I'm best friends with a guy named Steve. It's a video I made. I was talking about nostalgia. Let's see. Oh, I got to make a video on that. That's for sure. Looking at all these videos that I want to make a video on that I captured. I throw ideas on my phone here, and I know I'm not showing it, but let's see. That's my trip. Don't want to show you that. This is from the drama. That's more drama, more drama. Oh, hey. I don't know why, but this happens to be here. Earlier in the video, I was talking about that Nintendo Entertainment action set. I got it for $99. This is the one. That's the one. It's a killer deal, I think. I think it looks really good. What was it? Yeah, this is it. This is what I was going to show you. So this is the Williams, like a multi-Williams that I have. So it's really good condition. It's got vinyl on the left-hand side. Arcade Eric did this. I bought it from him. He included in the deal was like shipping. He like delivered it to my house, the whole thing, and he's from like Illinois. So it was like kind of included in the price, and I negotiated that, and I think it was a win-win. I kind of paid a lot for it, but it was like Arcade Eric. He's going to do a really good job on it. So I got basically a pristine multi-Williams. I mean, everything about it just looks great. The coin door is all restored. Everything about this is fully restored. The monitor is just great. All of it's good. So it's got a multi-Williams board in it that can play all these games, right? So Bubbles is on it, Robotron, Stargate, Defender, Joust. So it's great. But I got another one, but it's the one that I need to mod. Like I need to like do a lot of work on it. Let me see if I can pull that one up. This will just take a second to find real quick. And so, yeah, this other one that I have, look how ugly it is, man. So this is it. This is it booting Neo Geo, but it's cosmetically, it just needs a little work. You know, you got to swap out the marquee, but there's no real damage. Got to change out the control panel, but all these are very doable. Like I can replace all these things. I can buy the parts from like Arcade Shop has a lot of these. I might try them. I was going to reach out to some other people and see what their recommendations are. But anyway, I was literally thinking before I got the J-Rock for $250, I was thinking about buying another Partycade and putting the Defender Partycade in a Williams cabinet for real. You know, like I was going to swap this out for a Defender, like control panel, like a legit control panel that would work on this, work on this type of cabinet, and then kind of make it look like the other picture I just showed. And then literally you'd boot it up and you'd see Arcade1Up, and you could play Sinistar on it. But I ended up getting the J-Rock, but that would be pretty cool. That's the one scenario where it's like Sinistar plays, I think, really well. You can get like an optical joystick on it, plug it into USB on the Defender Partycade, and maybe even get that 49-way simulation. But get Sinistar horizontal with the bezel. I think it would be really killer. I think that'd be awesome. I would enjoy it. Anyway, so there's that. Let's play some music again. We got 19K Fox starting his show in about 20 minutes here. What other topics you guys have? Any questions that you have? Ask me anything. We're going to enter. If you've been with me for this long, we're going to enter this Ask Me Anything phase. We're going to have a discussion. If you have a question, put a question at the beginning of your sentence, and we'll have a conversation about whatever topic that you want to have a conversation about. We've been talking about Arcade1Up liquidation at Walmart. We talked about Sonic and how Sega, Crazy Taxi might be coming. Could it be coming to the Arcade1Up? Filled with topics tonight. We got a question in. Ooh. And it's about guitar. It's a question. Did you ever play Les Paul guitars? I did. I used to own a Les Paul, and I really enjoyed it. and I was wanting to buy a Les Paul, but I recently purchased a different guitar. I did. Let's see what other questions we have, and we'll talk about. I'll give you a glimpse of that guitar in just a second, but we'll talk about other things. We're not going to take over the show with guitars. So, let's see. There is more. There's more guitars. Let's see. Do you like Jackson guitars? I own 3 of them. Yes. I used to play Jackson guitars. I was buddy with the Slipknot guy, Mick Thompson. He was like a guitar teacher of my brother. He played Jacksons back in the day, and he kind of got me and my brother hooked on Jacksons at the time. And yeah, I think they're pretty good. I don't own any today, but I used to own a Jackson with really good pick in it, you know, or what am I saying? Pick. It had a really good. I've been drinking too much. I can't even think of words now. Let's see. Any gossip or scoops on Arcade1Up cabs that we haven't heard yet? The only one I've heard is that we haven't heard of one yet. We talked about that last week. I have heard about titles, but they're titles that we've already talked about. Pro line of cabinets that they've already released in the past. We've talked about that. So imagine Gen 1 cabinets, but now a Pro version, if that's any clue. 20-minute concert. I'd have to do another stream for that, but I would be willing to do that. Let's see. Glad I bought my Williams J-Rock board. They sold out fast. There you go. Don't forget, Full Lunar Eclipse tonight. Is that right? 9:30 Central? I didn't know about that. Dude, thanks for mentioning that. All right, so I will... Hold on a second. I'm going to try to pull this up. Let's see. I ordered something pretty good recently, and I would like to show it to you guys. So let me find it. Really? I can't really show it. I don't know why. It's not... This is dumb. Huh. Give me 1 second here. I'm wondering why it's not showing up for me. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay. So let me pull this up here. Oh, you ready for it? Hold on. Actually, I'm not ready for it. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, this is the new guitar that I bought recently, if you wanted to see it. So this is Billy Corgan's signature guitar. If you notice, he's like going on tour now. He was just on James Corbin, whatever his name is. I can't think of names right now. I'm buzzed a little bit. But this is his new guitar. And I bought it. Like, I had to get it. Like, I learned about it. I got FOMO for it. I watched a video on it. And I got it. And it's the best guitar I own. It's literally the best guitar I own. It's in the other room. Like, I don't even have it in this room over here. It is so good. The moment I played it, I was like, wow, this is so good. It plays just so well. It came to me like basically in tune, shipped. I don't know. Something about it. They did an amazing job on it. It's a Reverend guitar. He's been partnered with Reverend for a while, and this was really cool. Sweetwater. I bought it on Sweetwater, and they literally send you pictures of the unit they're shipping you. This is the exact guitar that I received the other day, and I couldn't be happier for it. Like, seriously, I don't know why. Like, I almost cried. It was that good. It was very, very good. Those of you that are guitar fans, what's your favorite guitar? We'll talk about that for 2 seconds. Let's see. It's pretty fresh. Let's see. Nice pickup. You guys are talking about the arcade. Justin is waiting for the Pac-Man Pro. Maybe. You guys know I do like Pac-Man, but I don't know if I would get the Pac-Man Pro. We'll see. Let's see what else we got. Defender or Stargate? I gotta play Stargate more. I don't have a lot of time on Stargate, so I can't really say. I think they have a Stargate at a local arcade. I'll have to check that out. See, man, let's see. Might be completely different than what you meant. Let's see. Where is the Konami Legacy cabinet? There's been a lot of rumors in the past about a Konami Legacy cabinet. Honestly, I have never heard that direct from the source. I've never heard I think it's always been like a speculation, like it makes sense that they would do it, and it's a demand that we want. But I've actually I don't know anything about it. I wish I did. I know. It would be great if they did make that. Console Fanboy has no questions, only answers. Okay, Console Fanboy, give me all the answers, and then I will ask the question. Kind of like Jeopardy style. AWOL101 says, when do you think Arcade1Up will release the Sega Star Wars trilogy or re-release the... Do you think they will release the Sega Star Wars trilogy or re-release the Atari Star Wars cab? I think they will re-release the Atari Star Wars cab. I do not think they are coming out with a Sega Star Wars trilogy anytime soon because not the hardware, it's the emulation to run that I don't think is commercially viable yet. Unless some company has worked on that exact chipset to be running commercially. I'm guessing it's in development because they know that would be big. Or maybe the Sega and Arcade1Up haven't made the investment yet. Papa Brad says, are you satisfied with the Multi-Williams? I've always liked that arcade when I played it on location. I haven't given it a lot of time yet. Again, I got it and then I went to Seattle for a week. So, I mean, I love that I own one. And I played it a little bit. And I kind of like the way you can switch games and stuff on it. But now I have the J-Rock, so I'll be able to compare that. I'll probably do a video on it. That's actually pretty interesting. It's kind of funny. Someone was talking to me recently about making videos on straight arcades, and I think Ralph does an incredible job on making videos on... Maybe it's a little bit of, like, intimidation. Like, I don't know if I could make a video of that quality, and he kind of sets the standard, so I just never did. But then I started realizing what I would enjoy making videos on. You guys may call this crazy, but I have the Road Blaster stand-up, and I would love to do a video that... Because I don't know the answer. What is the difference between the NES Road Blaster and the real Atari Road Blasters arcade? And it would be really cool to be like, literally, imagine the thumbnail. It's like, shows the NES cartridge, which I own. I would literally take a picture of the NES cartridge I own. And then the Atari stand-up Road Blasters that I own. And it just sounds like a versus sign in between. And be like, in this video, we're going to find out the difference between the Road Blasters on the NES. Now, you're probably thinking that the NES is going to be so inferior to the original arcade. But I'm going to show you side-by-side comparison of all the different graphics and animations that they had in the game. Talk about which one's better to play, and let's check it out. It'd be like a couple-minute video, and then I would show sexy shots of the arcade, and I would show an NES and how I captured it, and then show the gameplay and overlay them, maybe, I don't know, and be like, this is what the games are like. I don't think I've ever seen that video. Like, doing a comparison, that'd be really cool. Or, like, okay, Multi-Williams. Like, okay, let me do a comparison between the J-Rock and the Multi-Williams board, show the differences and show the UI differences. And then be like, you can put it in a crappy cabinet, you can put it in a real cabinet. Both are JAMA, and one's modding like the original Joust in this case, and one is like a full-on FPGA board on its own. This one's $250. This one requires an original main board and then like a daughter board that you buy and wire up, and that's how they work. This is what you get. This one was created in, 2000, and this other one was created in like 2020. I don't know, it'd be kind of fun. Maybe we can get a game along the lines of Crazy Taxi, Taxi Chaos on the arcade when the wheel option becomes available. I think that maybe is the plan. Maybe that's why arcade systems are going to come out with accessories, because they want to start digging into games that require that additional amount of, controls. Really, it's if you only have sticks and buttons, I mean, you can get a pretty vast amount of games on that system, but eventually there's a limitation. And that's the thing that I was talking to Evelyn about, my daughter. Like, we were talking about the Road Blasters that we have, and it's so great because it has the control on it. And we're like now thinking about owning the original Star Wars would be really cool. Although we have the Arcade1Up version, and that kind of scratches that itch. but we're definitely all about buying. It's just like what we talked about with Arcade1Up. If you're going to own full-size arcades, the story's the same. You kind of want to own a full-size arcade that has like, either it's like pulling on your heartstrings with like the holy grail, it's like that nostalgia, or forget that for a second, it's just a game that has a very unique control. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like if I did the NES versus Road Blasters game, that's probably what it would end up being. I don't know. I haven't done the analysis yet, so I haven't made up my opinion on it, but I'm guessing a huge driving point, no pun intended, for the Road Blaster is that it has a really awesome steering wheel. It has the trigger buttons and the buttons on the top, and it just, and the pedal, and it's like fully, you know, immerses you into that game, right? And the music and the sound, vibrant colors and the graphics. It's all of that put together. And when you get the iArcade buttons and sticks, or even a Street Fighter game, they all have different elements, right? And so, yeah, there's different elements. Rafi says Smashing Pumpkins performs in Redondo Beach this weekend. Yeah, they are on tour, and I think I'm going to skip this tour, although it looks like their set list is really good. It is available. I'd have to make a road trip to Missouri, I believe, and I've done that before. I did. I saw Smashing Pumpkins 3 times in 1 year, and I went to Ohio, Chicago, and Missouri, I think. I can't remember, but in 1 year I went to 3 of them, and I paid for tickets to my friends so they could come as well. It was like, that was my gifts for everyone that year, if you will. Honestly, the Atari Lynx had a better Road Blasters than the NES. Well, that kind of makes sense because it's Atari, but I never knew that. That's really cool, Clax. I didn't know that. Wonder if I can grab some. You're going to make me buy an Atari Lynx now so I can prove that? I want to make a video on that. Be like, the difference between the Atari Lynx and the NES. Ah, man. Hey, CastleMania Games, what is going on? You messaged me earlier today. I actually just came back from Seattle. We'll have to talk soon. You were talking about some stuff we were going to talk about. I read your email. I read your messages. Let's work on it this week. I hope you're having a good day. I was in Seattle. I was going to reach out to you all week. He's in Seattle as well, CastleMania Games. But, dude, it was nonstop work. Like, basically, we worked. I was in a building, and then, you know, there were dinners with VPs and dinners with other people. So I wasn't able. I was going to hook up with Rainwater. I was going to hook up with CastleMania. It was just not possible. But good news, Ryan, from CastleMania Games. I will probably be coming to Seattle 4 times a year. That's my plan. 4 times a year flying out to Seattle. That is my home base now. Seattle has become my home office. So I'll be traveling there often. So we'll be able to hang out. So then we got question. Why does Arcade1Up have so many QC issues with most of their cabs? From bad monitors to cabs that just won't turn on. Is it laziness or just trying to be cheap or maximize profits? If I were to answer that question, I think I would be guessing, but I think you're right on most of those. I think some of it is what they should do is, well, I don't know if they should do it because I don't know how much it would cost or how much it would hurt their business by trying it. But what makes sense to me would be ideal is the QA team would get prototypes of the cabinets, their final production run, or they're close to final production run, and they just criticize it like crazy and tell the manufacturer, you got to fix this, fix this. Some people have said like they should send the prototype cabinets under NDA to experts in the industry, and I think they did that with Star Wars. You know, get some people that really know that cabinet and really make sure it's just like perfect. And I think a lot of times just they don't, you know, and then you're always going to have a certain number of cabinets that have issues for sure, because it's just shipping and manufacturing. That's just how it works. You don't QC every part. If I understand correctly, like I don't know directly. Like I worked for a company that did produce a product, and there was a QA department. And when I talked to them, it was like random spot checks. It seemed to be common in that industry, and I don't know if that's what Arcade1Up does, but either way, doesn't seem to be something that people are happy with. That's for sure. Random question: has anyone attempted to ever use an Evercade on an Arcade1Up? I think I've seen someone in the forum talk about it, but I've never seen a picture of it actually working or know exactly what that would be like. That Seattle sounds hard. Let's see. Goofy, I opened up. What? 6 years ago? Where are they playing? What are you talking about? You opened up for who? Weezer? Weezer. Wow. Yeah. I've been heading to Missouri. Agent Orange is on tour and playing there. There you go. When I play Crazy Taxi, I'm using my steering wheel and pedals on my Dreamcast. Really? I have Crazy Taxi and a Dreamcast, but I don't have steering wheels and pedals. Man, I should look into that, man. I've never got a steering wheel or pedal for Dreamcast. Yeah, do that Williams comparison video. That'd be awesome. Be cool. Definitely. Let's see. Anyone know of a good Android Touch game? So far, I have Golden Tee Live and OSU. What else is good? Does anyone have any good suggestions for CyberMine Arcade? I don't play many. I don't play anything on Android. I mean, maybe I should. Is it good? Since I play guitar, I suck at Guitar Hero. What are you talking about? I love video games. I play real guitar, but can't play Guitar Hero. It's not the same. I agree, it's not the same, but you can. I have a lot of fun. Definitely, I have a lot of fun. All right, guys. So we're wrapping up here. 19K Fox. Let's see if I can do this. Can I do this? Let's see if this works. So I'm gonna go into my live stream. I'm gonna hit edit. We're going to do a 19K Fox raid. What do you guys say? 19K Fox raid? Is it time? We're going to redirect other channels. Let's go. You don't have any redirect privileges. Are you serious? I don't have redirect privileges? I need to create redirect privileges. Live redirect. Add a user for live redirect. Okay, let's say at 19K Fox. We're gonna do a redirect. Who can redirect to my channel? Ah, there we go. I have to work that out. Anyway, 19K Fox is going to be going live in just a few minutes. I'm going to get their link in the chat so you can have that hot. We can do a raid over there. Continue this conversation if you want to have a good time. It doesn't start until 8 Central Time. You're talking about Central Time. The show starts in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Let's see. Console kit raid is starting now. There we go. He's a nice guy. Raid the Foxhole. There we go. Agent Orange. Skater 8 Bar. St. Joseph, Missouri. St. Joseph, Missouri. Do you ever go to Rockfest in Wisconsin? I do not, but I'll look into that. That sounds really cool. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. Let's see, round screen and such on Tap Games from Japan. Let's see, 1 minute and 45 seconds till the 19K Fox raid is happening. I probably will be making a video this week. I went to a pinball place in Seattle, and I actually took some footage, and I thought of making a video on that. Kind of be like, hey, I was on a trip with my coworkers, the team that I'm on, and we actually went to a pinball place, had a lot of fun, played a lot of good pinball games, and they had an arcade machine that I've never, ever seen before, and I played it, and it was kind of cool. And so I captured video of it, and the video's like, have you ever seen this arcade before? Because I haven't, and I'm trying to explain what it is. So hopefully that will come soon. And let's see, Harold Miller with the super chat. It says, great show, Justin. Hey, I really appreciate that. You guys coming to hang out. I kind of like these long streams. They're kind of fun. I've never been to the Pinball Museum in Vegas, EJ, but that sounds pretty cool. I've seen videos about it, but that's about it. Let's see. 19K Fox. We're waiting on 19K Fox. Is everyone going to jump over? Let's see. He says, how many times would you be willing to buy the same arcade title because of the cabinet improvement? Well, let's see. I'm going to go with 2 to 3 because, I mean, you can sell the cabinet. If they come out with a newer one, you can sell the cabinet. You know? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you could sell the cabinet and then get a new one. Yeah, like, that's fair. Like, I bought the new iArcade. I ended up buying the new iArcade, but I think I'm going to keep the old iArcade. And the reason why is because I can put the old iArcade in my office, and I can have the new arcade down here, the new iArcade. And when you buy the game, it works on both. Like, you own a license to that game for, like, you and your household. So if you have multiple iArcades, you only have to buy the game once. And I was also thinking about consoleizing my old iArcade. That'd be kind of cool. Consoleize the old iArcade. You know, take the old iArcade. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just make it where I'll just put it next to a TV. But I can sit down on a couch with a Bluetooth controller and play a whole bunch of those games. I think that'd be fun. And then you could also play it standing up. And then, yeah, see? There you go. Mike says, I'm converting my old iArcade into an Astro City. Like, you're going to put the guts inside an Astro City? Is that what you're saying? That's cool. All right, guys. So thank you so much for hanging out for this extended Console Kids podcast. I appreciate you hanging out. We just hit the 2-hour mark, and we are waiting. We are waiting for 19K Fox to go live. Where is it? There he is. His countdown is starting. Everyone to come over to 19K Fox and say hi to him. We can extend this stream. I'm going to finish my drink on his show. I don't think I'll need a refill. I mean, this one's good enough, right? Come on over to 19K Fox. He always has great topics. And, you know, subscribe to him as well. You know, it's always good to help people out. See you guys later. Take care. Let's watch some 19K Fox next. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.